So, thank you everyone. I'm excited to present to you today about the 5 dysfunctions of a team by Patrick Lencioni. So, like the first question comes to my mind is what is team dysfunction or what is dysfunction, right? So, what is dysfunction? Dysfunction is like something is not functioning, not working properly, not getting the desired result. So I put this question to Google and I got this answer. So I felt that we are on the right track because the company is suggesting us to read this book. You can see Google also suggesting that the answer is from this book itself. So it's very relevant and I had so many learnings by reading this book. Let's move on. So yes, the book. So this book uses a fable to explain why even the best dreams struggle to work together. And it offers actionable strategies for them to overcome distrust, office politics, to achieve important goals as a cohesive and effective unit. We all know teamwork is very hard. There is politics, mistrust, and ego, which get in the way of building a well-performing team. Exceptional teamwork can give a company the competitive advantage, right? So with this competitive advantage, any company can beat out its competitors. So this book tells us about a story which revolves around a fictional company named Decision Tech. Decision Tech is a high-tech company. It specializes in developing and selling advanced simulation software. So the book tells us this company was doing very fine 2 years earlier. It looked like a promising startup. It had all the investors and qualified executives you will ever need. But now it is falling apart due to poor management. Okay, so this is the author. I think everyone has read this book and heard his name. So this is the most favorite quote from him that I got. The quote says, it's as simple as this. When people don't upload their opinions and feel like they have been listened to, they won't really get on board. So what I said, the company is not doing good. So the management decides to bring in a new CEO. And there are a lot of characters used to explain and make the story relatable so that you can learn better. So here are some characters from the book. CEO, the new CEO is Catherine Peterson. Jeff Stanley, co-founder and the former CEO. Mikey, I hope you remember this name because this was one of the names who was very aggressive and Catherine had a very difficult time dealing with. Rollins, head of sales. Sorry, I had to put my head because we don't have any sales here as I'm related to SGEMR sales. Nick, the chief operating officer. And Jan Marcino, chief financial officer. We had a few others, Nick Farrell, chief operating officer, and another notorious I missed. So can someone of you tell me the name I missed? And Catherine had a lot of fights and conflicts with that person.
Martin.
Okay, I pick a name. Yes, it's Martin Gilmore. Thank you. Who was it?
I'm Fairuz Bhaiya.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, your presentation is next, right? Okay, good reading. Okay, let's move on. So the book actually focuses on these five dysfunctions, as the name of the book suggests. Number one is absence of trust, then fear of conflict, then lack of commitment, avoidance of accountability, then last one is inattention to results. We'll go deep into these each ones as the presentation progresses. Okay, so let's discuss the first one, absence of trust. So what is absence of trust? Okay, this occurs when team members are hesitant, okay, to be vulnerable with one another. They do not share their true selves, their fears, their mistakes, and without trust, teams are less likely to engage in open and honest dialogues. Okay, so this will eventually lead to poor decision making. Okay, so how can we solve this dysfunction? We can have team building workshops so people will engage with each other, conversate with each other, they will build trust. Okay, so whenever we have some personal space, or even before meetings, we can join 2 minutes earlier, share our personal stories or vulnerabilities. So you should have noticed if a person shares very personal things about himself, the other person will eventually also feel like sharing his personal issues, right? For example, I'm going through some family crisis. My father is a cancer patient. So it triggered when I joined at HGI. I think the seventh day he had a heart attack and his cancer was triggered. So I was facing lots of stress, a new place, new job, and this very sad environment in my family, running from hospitals and others. So, uh, Mojammal Bhai. Mojammal Bhai joined here. Okay, so I know, talking from the other people, that everyone thinks Mojammal Bhai is a very tough person. Okay, very strict with processes and everything. So I shared this with Mojammal Bhai. Okay, I was one day at our veranda and shared this with Mojammal Bhai. And to my wonder, the very next day, he also started sharing his personal difficulties in others. And I believe I'll have to check with him, but I believe I have developed a very trusting relationship with Mujammal. Like after with that, like sharing personal stories. Okay, let's move on. This is very important. Okay, so those two or third one is you can do it individual level, but as a leader, myself, I lead a few teams, right? So as a leader, it's very important. Like however the team members are conversating with each other, you will always find 4 or 5 people. They are very close to each other. Then there will be another 4 or 5 people. So groups, right? So while 5 people are having a like very close relationship and not with those other four, so here comes the leaders. Leaders needs to ensure that in office there is safe environment so that people can talk to each other. It's not a sin. It's not looked down upon, and it's encouraged. Okay, let's move on. The next one, very crucial, fear of conflict. Just pause for a moment, okay, and think like how many times you had something in your mind and you went to someone, then you did not go ahead with telling the person something, fearing that there might be a conflict after you share that, say, a negative feedback. Right? It's very common. It's very common in our Bengali culture as well. We never appreciate anything that we do not like any feedback. And I have faced this in my last organization. Even I see here as well. It's a bit better, but as we are engineered Bengalis, our DNAs and our culture is same. So this is, I think this is common for India, common for the first world countries as well. So why this occurs? Again, team members are reluctant to engage in healthy, constructive conflict because they fear that they will be perceived as negative. Okay, the other person, you are thinking, if I share this negative feedback, the other person will think I'm a negative person. I'm a pessimistic person. Okay, so this will eventually lead to less likeliness of surfacing and debating important issues. People will not talk to each other. They will have very minimal conversation, zero to minimal conversation. They'll only talk when they need to save their job or like something like that. Okay, and when people are not talking to each other, they are they're reserved, and decisions will not be discussed, right? So the decisions will come at your way will be poor because you did not agree, or like the decision was good but there was no discussion and you did not buy in. So how to avoid this? Okay, obviously healthy debate. So by healthy debate, you know, debate is like, debate is like you are putting counter agreement to someone's agreement, right? And is there anyone participating in debate in university, school, college here? I will not be able to see your hand. Can you tell your name? No one?
Josim has.
Okay. Yes. So debate, like two teams debate with each other at times, four teams, right? So they will give a topic. So I used to debate in university, and there was a topic I got. The topic was Shakib Al Hasan is the number one batsman of our country. Okay. Unfortunately, I was against this notion. So you think undoubtedly Shakib Al Hasan is the number one batsman at that time. I'm talking about 2012, 13, or 11. I forgot. So I had to put my counter argument, prepare it, and debate with the other team who has all the evidences and everything, right? To prove that Shakib Al Hasan is the number one batsman of Bangladesh. So why I gave you this example? Like we have to think about our discussions like healthy debates, right? This is a healthy debate. They are not like fighting with each other. They are not holding grudges. Okay, in debate, if you see some videos, they do personal attacks as well. Like I will address, Your Honor, my friend from the opposition team, he does not have a proper brain. His argument is not not true or something, right? But no one is holding any grudge or anything. So we have to perceive our organizational conversations like healthy debates, so that like one party will win. Who will win here? Obviously, the team who has the better arguments, right? Guess who won that debate? My team won, because I highlighted that he can be the best batsman, but like he has anger issues and other things. So you can win even if you have a like weak point. You can win an argument with like very healthy uh, conversations. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so there is one activity actually about this dysfunction, like about how to you avoid conflicts. So it calls devil's advocate. I bolded this term, so you can Google it. Maybe you can research it. and you can do it in your team. Basic idea is like each team member will make a opposite point, okay, and like say I'm saying something, you will counter argument with opposite opinion. So this is an exercise you can practice among yourselves. Also, another factor is leaders, right? So leaders are coming in the picture. So everything is perfect, but leader is not facilitating this environment. He is not buying in. He is not creating an environment. He's keeping everyone on the run all the time. He's not giving space for people to have some conversation. Okay, so the leader needs to facilitate and establish ground rules for respectful communication. At time, this kind of conversations will go out of hand. Like you might say something very disrespectful. So the leader needs to come here, stop the conversation, and control the environment. Let's move on to the third one, lack of commitment. Okay, the handsome gentleman you see not in the mirror, like opposite of the mirror, right? You see, he's very healthy, happy, and the reflection on the mirror is what he wants to achieve. So, what he needs to do? Can anyone tell me? I will pick names. Look for
He needs to do exercise.
exactly. Okay, so he needs to stay committed that he will need just not exercise, but regular exercise every day, 1 hour, 30 minutes, right? Commitment. And also what? He needs to control his food habits. So commitment is coming in the picture. Okay. So you see, this thing occurs when members are not fully committed to decisions. They are confused. They do not follow through. Like you joined a gym with your friend, then you went there for 7 days, but because first 7 days is very tough, you have muscle sores, you cannot sleep properly. You have to sleep only on one side. If you move, you'll have pain. After 8th day, you do not go. So no follow-ups. Okay. So without commitment, teams are less likely to fully invest in the goals, objectives of the team. So what is the solution? Right? If you bring a team in the picture and discuss about commitment, what is commitment? We are setting goals, right? So say for HAEMR, I have discussed with the management and I got a goal of getting 100 doctors by this year. So this is a goal, right? And to achieve this goal, I need commitment from myself, from my sales team, from my product team, from my developers, everyone. So my sales guy says 100 is impossible with 2%. We need 7%, 10%. So he is disagreeing. And what he's doing? He is not like he doesn't have fear of conflict, right? He raised his point. And also second like first point, he has trust. That is why he is sharing. And now he has commitment as well. That is why he's saying it is not possible. Okay, so what I as a leader, what I'll have to do? So I'll tell him, I know it is impossible. I will arrange all the resources. I will work on getting few things to bring up the productivity. Okay, so that person I will be able to convince. But is he actually convinced? He will say yes because my argument was very good. but in heart he actually thinks it is not possible, but he will be committed. So this term is called agree to disagree. Okay, so you are agreeing, but in heart you are disagreeing because the counter argument was so good. You are trying to put your faith, your hard work, your commitment to achieve the goal. Okay, there is one more exercise for this, particularly this commitment dysfunction. Okay, it is called round robin. So again, you can Google it, practice it in your team. In this, each member must publicly state their level of commitment to a decision. Okay, so going back to my previous example, I told my sales team, I need 100 doctors. They did not agree. Then I put my counter agreement. Then they agreed with me. So what I need, they need to acknowledge publicly, okay, that yes, we will work towards achieving 100 doctors. Okay. Another thing is, again, leaders are coming in everywhere. It's very difficult and tensed to be a leader. It's not a position you want to be in, but like everyone should be a leader, okay? Because by becoming a leader, you actually learn the craft of human behavior, right? You motivate people. So leaders have to ensure that the team members are fully informed, 100 doctors, sales team, and involved. Like, say your sales speech is not good, so let's work together to make it more customer friendly. Let's bring down the time. You are spending 40 minutes in one presentation. So can we bring it down to 15 minutes so that in a day you were doing 10 presentations. Now we can do 20. So I cannot enforce it. I have to involve him, okay, in the decision making process. And after that, a clear consensus will come. Let's move ahead. So you see, people are arguing, they agreed to disagree, and they are saved. Next one. Okay. Can someone tell me the reference here? The picture?
It's No Way Home
And
from Spider-Man, I guess.
yes, it's No Way Home, but it was there previously. So they are blaming each other. Okay. It's not me, it's you. Look at the middle person. Said it's not me, it's both of you. Okay. So this is also a common trait and a dysfunction. People wants to avoid accountability. And they not like love to blame others. Again, a Bengali culture, subcontinental culture, I said. Okay. Okay. By culture, what I meant is like we are proud of it. It's in the USA, Europe as well, but they don't like to talk about it. But we will go to like discussion outside of that, like say my work, and I will proudly say I blamed him for that word. Okay, so why this happens? Because team members are not held accountable. They are like free monkeys, so they go anywhere, put fingers at anyone. Okay, no follow-ups, then poor results. So without accountability, teams are less likely to achieve their goals and objectives. Yes, sorry, I'm reading out it. Actually, my purpose of putting this small text is to help me if I forget something. Okay, how can we solve it? Thank you for the like latest cultural session. I got these 3 points. Like how can you make someone accountable? Right? Everyone has attended that session. So that in 2 videos were shared. So they shared 3 habits you can we can follow to implement accountability. Again, do not blame. If you blame someone, blame gives you a power. Okay? Look in the mirror. Right? When a problem comes, first thought should be what part I had on that. What I could have done to avoid this. Third one, engineer the solution. So again, blaming people. It's very easy. Okay? So you have to see how, if you can fix the process, not the people. Very recent example I want to share. So on one of the projects, we are getting delayed. Okay, so when I asked my developers, they are telling me that server team is not doing a proper job. Okay, so my first thought was, let's blame server team, and everyone encouraged me. So then I thought, okay, let's see, look at the mirror, what problem we had. So I looked at the mirror and I saw, actually it's not our fault, probably because it's my perception. Then the server team, they reached out to Shahid that our developers doing a poor job. Okay, so it was a very tough situations to handle. Two teams blaming each other. So what I did was I talked with team members from each of the teams and found out there is no process exactly. So when a developer needs help from the server team, they create a ticket and the server team follows up. They have meetings with the developers. There is no clear expectations what the developer needs to do, or even developers are not clear what the server team will do. So what I proposed to the management, there should be a clear checklist and very clear expectations set, like what the developer needs to do. If he needs to join a meeting, he will join. If he needs to help with coding, fixing codes, he will. And the developers will also know like what the server team will responsible for. So see, process, not always people you can blame. You can, but if you fix the process, you fix a bigger problem. So by fixing process, I might be helping with fixing 100 problems in the future. But by blaming, I might save my team for once only. Okay, let's move on. The last one. Inattention to results. So you see two gentlemen here rowing a boat in opposite directions. So a 4-year-old kid can say that they will not be moving anywhere. They will stay at the same place. A very funny example. Last year in my last organization's team building event, I went for kayaking with one of my colleagues. So on that kayak, he was rowing the other way. I was rowing, so he wouldn't listen to me. I tried rowing like him, but he wouldn't listen to me. What I did is I told him that there are sharks beneath. If he makes too much noise, it might bite. Okay. So let me handle it. You put up your rower. Okay. It was not a solution, just an example. So what we need to do is the team need to go to follow the same path. Okay. An individual cannot like outperform everyone, think of only himself, not the team members. So you are not focusing on the result, we're focusing on your self gain. So why this happens? Because what I said, team members become more focused on their own individual needs and agendas rather than goals and objectives of the team. How can we solve it? My two ideas. Resymetrics. So can someone help me explain what is Resymetrics if you know, for maybe 20 seconds.
It's a term.
Someone
What
from
is it's a term. What
yes,
is R is responsible, A for accountable, C for I think
consulted,
yeah, consulted, and I for
informed.
informed. Yeah.
Okay, so
In
by
PM
Racy,
process, in PM process we have used it. Yeah.
okay, nice. So what do I mean by Resymetrics can solve this problem? So Resymetrics, as Shibli just explained, these four terms like responsible, accountable, consulted, informed. So each task will have these four roles. Okay, we can have 10 members, but these roles, say a developer, he is responsible for code quality, but a PM cannot be responsible, right? He is accountable because he is not directly doing the job. He is accountable to ensure that developer is doing a proper job. Okay, as a manager of the pod or assistant manager of the pod, I may be accountable, and the perfect role of me will be consultant, right? Was I consulted? If there was an issue, I should be consulted to solve it. And like this, say Shahid, can he be responsible? No. Can he be accountable? No. Can we consult him? Yes, but he has less time. So what he will be, his role will be informed. Like we need to inform him. So if you clear out all these roles for all the tasks, activities, and everything, everyone will be know like where they will be held accountable for and how to achieve the result. Everyone will know what is my part. Another one we already follow. So I need not to discuss. OKR is objective and key results. We set an objective and we set ideally 3 key results to reach that objective every quarter. Okay. My 3 takeaways from this book. What have I learned? Number 1, be open. As a group, as an individual, be open about weaknesses and mistakes to facilitate trust. When a member will see that I am acknowledging my mistake and sharing it with him, he will perceive that in this organization or in this team, if you making mistake is not a sin, it's a mistake, and by mistake you can improve on it. Right? The second learning I got: be committed. Okay, because commitment is everything. If you are given a goal and you're not committed, however talented you might be, however skillful you are, however hardworking you are, if you're not committed, you'll not achieve the results. And if you're not committed to decisions, same thing will happen. The last thing I learned from this book is having a common goal. Okay, so if everyone on a team is having separate goals, we'll reach separate destinations. So it's mandatory to have a common goal. As an assistant manager, as a manager, PM, developer, TL, they should work towards achieving a common goal. Okay, I think my presentation ends here. Thank you so very much. Do you have any questions?
Okay, so positive Abhivek, it's a nice presentation. So one question, what you can relate with our generation where we can improve those things, and what's the major lackings we do have by understanding, by reading the book?
My God, it's a very difficult question. I'm feeling like this.
Oh, you are ready for that?
Can you repeat again, Shakos, because you had like 3 questions in one, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Just one thing you can mention, just one measure